This video is going to be very controversial in the world of agave spirits because I'm going to be talking about Creyente Mezcal Cristalino from Proximo Spirits. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Donnelly. I'm an expert in distilled spirits with 9 years of experience in the alcoholic beverage industry. And my goal is to educate consumers more about the alcoholic beverages they enjoy so they can make better shopping and drinking decisions. Welcome back. This is the third part of my Proximo Spirits Cristalino series. In the first two videos, I covered the 7 Cristalino tequilas that Proximo has introduced to the market. And the final product that I wanted to talk about today, and I want to include it as a separate video, is their Cristalino Mezcal, which I know is going to be super controversial. Mezcal seems to be the last bastion of, traditional artisan spirits. I know agave purists are going to absolutely hate the fact that a company has not only aged mezcal, which mezcal is a spirits category or subcategory that is not traditionally aged. Not only are they aging mezcal, but then they are charcoal filtering that mezcal to make it crystal clear. So I know this product is going to be controversial. It is a Cristalino agave product. Again, it's not a tequila, but today I'm going to talk a little bit about the brand. I'm going to taste the brand here on camera, and I'm going to tell you if I think that brand is worth the money. All right, let's get into it. So, here is the beautiful gift box for the Creyente Cristalino. I mean, this thing feels very premium and looks really good. And then this part slides out. And then, boom, here's your bottle. Here's what the bottle looks like. This is a gorgeous packaging. It not only has this beautiful color, but it has this really nice textured glass, and it feels really premium. Okay, before I taste this product, I'm just going to read a little bit of information about the product. Born from fire and oak, Creyente Cristalino Añejo begins its journey in the mineral-rich soils of the Valles Centrales in the Sierra Sur region of Oaxaca, Mexico. Only the finest Espadín and Quiche agaves are hand-picked at peak maturity before being cooked in underground pit ovens using traditional methods. The perfectly roasted agave hearts are then crushed through the centuries-old custom of using a Tahona stone mill. Following fermentation and a double distillation in copper pot stills, the resulting liquid is aged in new American oak casks for added complexity and exquisite taste. Prior to bottling, our ancestral mezcal undergoes a unique and proprietary filtration process, resulting in a final product of impeccable clarity and incomparable smoothness. Creyente Cristalino Añejo reveals soft hints of the smoke that gently mingles alongside sweet undertones of fresh citrus, herbs, and spice. And this product is bottled at 80 proof or 40% ABV for the United States. I want to briefly touch on mezcal without getting too complex. Mezcal is a type of distilled agave spirit. So tequila is distilled from Blue Weber agave, and there's several different states within Mexico where it is legally permitted to produce tequila. Well, mezcal is also distilled from agave, but unlike Blue Weber agave, which tequila is distilled from, mezcal is distilled from other types of specified agave. Within the last 5 years, the Mexican government had recently made some changes to mezcal. So I don't want to get into that here, but basically mezcal is a distilled agave product from different types of agave. So these are not the same type of agave that is used for tequila or even other types of distilled agave spirits throughout Mexico, like for example Sotol. And then what defines mezcal, especially here in the United States, is the flavor of smoke. So mezcal, whereas tequila is typically cooked in either traditional stone ovens or in a diffuser, which can speed up the cooking process. Mezcal is traditionally cooked in huge stone pits where the pit is lined with stones, and then a big fire is set so that those stones are heated. The agaves are piled on. The entire pit is covered with earth, and it creates a almost earthen oven. And again, mezcal is arguably one of the most traditional and the most artisanal methods of making a distilled spirit. And so that's why some people that are very passionate about agave spirits and very passionate about mezcal get really, really upset and get really disgusted with certain innovations that big companies bring to the category. I certainly am not bothered by innovations within the category. I think you can still find incredibly well-made and artisanally made products, especially within mezcal. And that doesn't mean you have to hate or be unwilling to taste or try or experiment with new innovations within the category or subcategory. And so the reason mezcal, to get back to the cooking, the reason mezcal has that smoky flavor is its cooking method compared to tequila. The joke is in the bar world, like certain customers that are not familiar with mezcal, but now that mezcal is kind of trendy, people are willing to try it. They're mezcal curious. They say, oh, give me that smoky tequila. And, they're not that far off, right? Sure, mezcal is not tequila, but it is an agave spirit, and it does have that signature smoke property. Now, the level of smoke is going to vary by brand, and a lot of time that is based off of the wood, which type of wood is used to start that initial fire. Certain types of wood create softer and perhaps more approachable smoke levels, and you'll even have a wide range within mezcal, where some are very approachable, not just in price point, but flavor profile. The smoke is very minimum, and that allows to attract a more entry-level consumer, whereas certain other brands, the smoke is much stronger, it's much more prominent, and that is perhaps for a more serious mezcal drinker. The other thing I want to say about mezcal, it is perhaps, mezcal is traditionally unaged, unlike a lot of distilled spirits. And mezcal is one of the few products that it's perhaps easier to think about it almost like a wine rather than thinking about it as a distilled spirit, because it is not aged and because it has such a traditional and minimal process for production. Where that agave is grown and where it is made, and all these different, what the French would call terroir, this kind of sense of place that affects these raw ingredients, really, really, really has an impact. And you really see these huge differences in mezcal depending what agave is used, where it is grown, what conditions are present, both in the, where the agave is harvested, where the agave is grown and harvested, as well as the palenque, the mezcal distillery, the conditions around there, especially a lot of mezcals in their fermentation process, they're using ambient yeast. All these micro factors really play a huge difference. And so there's lots of people in this space that are much, much, much more educated about mezcal than I am, and I'm just barely scratching the surface. I know there's a lot of incredible content out there around mezcal, and I'm always trying to educate myself more on mezcal. The more I learn about mezcal, the more I realize I don't know. Again, I'm just briefly touching on some of this to kind of give you a framework for how this product fits into the category and how enthusiasts for the category might perceive this particular product. Okay, let's try it. I have a brand new bottle here. I can never seem to get the plastic security wrap off of these in one try. There we go. And this is a really cool, really heavy stopper. I mean, you could knock someone out with this. All right. Man, you can already smell that. All right, I'm going to read through the tasting notes provided by the brand. So the aroma is described as delicate herbal and floral notes mingle gracefully, accompanied by subtle smokiness and gentle woodiness, reminiscent of the earth after rain, adds an intriguing dimension. The essence of cooked agave entwines harmoniously with subtle hints of vanilla and the refreshing allure of fresh guava. Man, I really want the job of writing tasting notes for brands, because it's basically poetry. It's alcohol poetry. So, oh yeah. That's got a really, really nice nose. And the smoke is really gentle on the nose. I mean, a lot of times when you smell mezcal, like it's just smoke. And this, there's a lot of fruit. Like it's got, what did it describe it as? Vanilla, guava. You definitely get some of those really subtle secondary barrel notes. This is described as Mezcal Artesanal, which artisanal mezcal is like a subcategory of mezcal. So you have ancestral and artesanal, and they have to follow specific rules. And then this is described as an Añejo Cristalino. So I'm not, Añejo for tequila has a specific minimum aging period. On mezcal, because mezcal is not traditionally aged, I actually have no idea. This is something I'll have to reference and maybe put in the notes. I don't know if there is a legal minimum for what can be described as an añejo mezcal, because that, isn't exactly a normal part of the category. All right, back to the nose. That's a really nice, that just smells really nice. It's this beautiful mingling of smoke, agave, and those kind of, fruity flavors that can come from the agave, as well as the oak. This has led me to be really excited about trying this. All right, the flavor on the palate is described as, on the palate, it caresses with a velvety softness, revealing a gentle sweetness that harmonizes beautifully with the wood notes. The interplay of fruity and smoky flavors is expertly balanced, creating a captivating blend. Wow, that is something. That is a description right there. All right, let's see how it tastes on the palate. And I'm going to try to taste this twice. A lot of the spirits I've been previously tasting, I just try it once and then, let it rip and just kind of give you my thoughts with one single taste. Obviously, much like a wine, when you taste things multiple times and as your mouth becomes accustomed to both the alcohol and the flavor, you find different flavors. I don't say you find them, that they appear to you. Different flavors become recognizable on the palate. After multiple sips, the flavors change in your mouth, especially with more high-end dynamic spirits. So I'm going to take 2 sips and then see if I think the tasting notes accurately describe this. Definitely smokier on the palate. But it's still, compared to so many other mezcals, that smoke is still really kept in check. It's still really subtle. Good fruitiness, good agave. The wood, I don't know how much time this spent in barrel. There's wood flavors there. But they're really, really subtle. I would say smoke, agave, fruit, and wood. In that order, that is the flavors I am tasting. I'm going to give it a second sip and see if, what changes. I would say revisiting it, the smoke is even more subtle. My mouth probably is less on that second sip. The smoke is probably kind of a shock to the palate. And on that second sip, that agave and those really kind of bright fruit flavors come through a lot more on that second sip. And the smoke is subtle and the wood flavors are super subtle, which is nice. This works really, really well together. This is really tasty, super drinkable. The smoke in mezcal scares a lot of people away from the category, especially, we'll talk about price here in a second, especially at this super premium price point. But I think this really works. it really is nicely in balance. I mean, I think somewhere in here it says harmonizes. There's a harmony here that works really, really well. Oh, let me find the finish. All right, the finish is described as the essence of vanilla and the subtle presence of star anise add depth and complexity, leading to a delightful finish where the interplay of wood and earth notes linger on the tongue. I would say it's definitely got a long finish. I mean, it's still hanging around, and I can still taste different things. I like star anise. I don't know if I'm quite getting that, but there's definitely complexity here. It's definitely a delightful, it's definitely an enjoyable finish. And, you know, those kind of flavors of, you know, when they say earth, you know, flavors of the agave, flavors of the kind of raw material, you hear that a lot with wine and wood. Really nicely balanced, linger on the tongue. It's not boozy at all. I mean, that alcohol is basically non-existent. You know, it's just super drinkable, super tasty. So let's talk about, do I think this product is worth it? So let me check my pricing. I'm based in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so I'm going to be quoting kind of average retail pricing here in Oklahoma. Again, the pricing in every single market is different. Check your local liquor store for pricing because everyone's pricing is different. But let's just say this product is going to retail somewhere between $144 and $156. So call it $150. Is this product worth $150? Well, again, I hate riding the fence, but when you start getting to $150 price point, that becomes completely dependent on how much disposable income that particular consumer has. If I like super premium agave spirits, you know, or even, you know, super premium, let's just say like, you know, Scotch, you know, certain peated Scotch, like particularly from Islay, is stereotypically peated and smoky, and certain customers really like those high-end products where you have that kind of balance where the smoke is not the entire flavor, it's just one component of the flavor profile. I think that draws a very nice parallel here, right? There's smoke, and the smoke is enjoyable because it is balanced by other flavors. It's balanced by fruit, it's balanced by wood. So, and you know, whether it's the quality of the product or whether that's charcoal filtering to make it a Cristalino, if you have no problem dropping $150 on a super premium bottle of spirits, whether that's, you know, Scotch, bourbon, wine, whatever, I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you buy this product, I do not think you'll be disappointed. I think the packaging, I think the flavor you get both on the nose, palate, and finish, as well as the kind of uniqueness of this. I mean, this is a very interesting innovation. You have very few producers that are actually aging mezcal. My personal favorite that does this is Zikaru, but we'll get into Zikaru perhaps in another video. And then to take it a step further and bring this into that Cristalino trend. Cristalinos right now, Cristalino tequilas are super, super popular. Super trendy right now. It's super hot. And to be able to tie mezcal, which is a really growing category that is gaining a lot of momentum, even in my home market of Oklahoma, which is, you know, arguably, you know, one of the last markets to latch on to any sort of trend that may start on the East Coast or the West Coast. So even here, I mean, we are close to Texas, and you know, mezcal is super, super popular in Texas, and, you know, Texas drives so much of the agave business. So mezcal's trendy, tequila's super hot, Cristalinos are super hot, and to be able to tie those together in this particular product, that kind of innovation I think is super interesting. I think it creates interesting conversations around the category. You know, if you got the money, I think you should buy this product at least once. I think you'd really, really enjoy it. Who's this product for? This product is for the customer that doesn't mind dropping $150 on a super premium bottle of alcohol. And, you know, maybe that customer is already drinking other high-end tequilas, other super premium tequilas. Maybe they're drinking other super premium, you know, other products, whether that's bourbon or Scotch. That person that wants a high-end, beautiful packaging, they want something new, they want something to flex on their friends, I think this product fits perfectly into that. And there's certainly other high-end products that are much more expensive than $150. And then who's this product not for? Well, this product is not for the mezcal purist. The mezcal purist is going to hate the idea that this product has been aged in oak. The mezcal purist is going to hate that this product has then been charcoal filtered and it fits under this blasphemous subcategory of Cristalinos. So, you know, if you're an agave purist, if you're a mezcal purist, this product is not for you. You probably won't even be watching this video. But you know, even if you are mezcal curious, I think and you have the money, this product would be the product for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like and consider subscribing. If you'd like to be notified when I have new content on my website or this YouTube channel, please subscribe to my email newsletter. I'll have a link below in the description. If you'd like to support this channel further, please consider becoming a Patreon member or gift me a cocktail through the link below in the description. Thank you so much for your support, and as always, please drink responsibly. Cheers.